Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to the stream. So continuing along with this illustration, because I think I have a general idea of what I actually want to do with it. Since I also actually had an extra day to think about it, given that I was out at the airport last Friday, so that's why I wasn't streaming. That is the reason why. Okay, so right now I kind of have like a side-on pose for Fubuki. I'm gonna change that a little bit so that we have a more aggressively bottom up kind of view, which basically means that we have to turn her body a little bit more. Notably, the legs down here. We're just going to twist her body so that she is facing this way by default. Let's just go... I think we're going to twist the head a little bit more to point towards Kirino. So tilt her head a lot. Mainly the bit here is just to ensure that her hair bun is taking up the space around Kirino's chest instead of her face, because we generally want to avoid, or ideally I'd like to avoid putting anything in her face while doing character illustrations. But some of these lines out of here. We're instead going to try and direct the chest upwards, like so. And have her much more towards the camera instead. So that will get something like... It should be also getting wider. Well, this should be very much in a lot more. I think what we will end up wanting with, let's say, one leg here, is that we're gonna actually direct... Actually, I want to make her leg a little bit thinner than that. Hello there, what are you doing? Gonna try and... I'm not increasing the width of her body enough as I turn towards the camera here. Let's basically do this. So I want to... Do I need to just bring this leg up more? That's a bit much if I try to bring the leg up like that. I think I'm bringing this in too far. I think I need to bring this more out, like so. Because this is the side of her body here. Going around like here. So essentially... the width of her hip should actually be somewhat significantly wider, given we want to point her actually more towards the camera. Actually, let me increase the body here, because we want to set her body out like this more. because we want to have her aimed at the camera. Like so. Bring her shoulder line up behind her head instead. The chest will be like, well, like right here. Can have arm coming through here. So actually you want, essentially, if I have her leg coming like right up towards her face, like so, to have the inner tube over the top, almost like this, so that the bottom portion of the whole image should just be the inner tube. And so let's say this is the center point, this is the inner tube here. And then we'll just have leg number 2 coming up. And let's say we just have leg coming through this way instead. Which also means that we can have, once again, because I am insisting on practicing it more, will be what? Something vaguely like this. That was what we call feet. I want to bring her hair around like this. Her second bun will be like right here. Also, I'm using a different pen, I just realized that. I was drawing everything with pencil, now I'm drawing everything with pen. Okay, so now the question is, do I try and draw everything in a little bit nicer? Because that's usually the first step to some more parts. Alright, so the most forward thing, if it's angled as such, we're gonna have to tilt Kirino a little bit more as well, but that's fine because the angle is fundamentally changing a little bit. Okay, so first up, we're going to need to excite absolutely everyone with the sole of a foot, which is like something like this. The heel would be coming in like, the ankle will be like here. Actually no, we want to like have very steep angles. The angle will be like here. And then you'll have like the sole of the foot coming in like, what, like this. You have Well, basically, the toes would be coming out like here. I'm just gonna try and rough it in for now. Let's be real, I can't really draw feet very well. Something like that. Let's get rid of this sole line here. And then the foot itself, let's say it's like a little bit of the angle here. We can see a little bit of the foot as it's coming backwards. Say that the you bring the foot itself. I think when you bring it like in line with the knee, almost like here. Say that this is going straight towards the knee and the back. I think the foot needs to be significantly bigger. If it's like this. Oh dear. Because we need to increase the perspective by like quite a bit. Because the perspective itself is currently going something like this. So all right. Okay, so question number one: more feet. Does the foot need to be bigger? Also, just as a general reference point, we basically have her body's position shaped like a V right now, as in we have a V like this in terms of the body, between the upper body and the legs. Hence at the hip. The hip is not going to be visible. We're going to have the inner tube below that, but I think, how do I get the leg to go? So let's say that the leg comes through there, then we have the inner tube going through like that. Let's say, let's just see how ridiculous this looks first. Say her other foot is, I think I need to like go almost like this on her. No, that's stupid. Because the sole in the wrong spot. Sole will be like what, here? Then this would be what, from like here? Let's just say her legs are apart. So if we presume that her one knee is like coming up to about here, This is like where the knee is. We're putting other leg like over here. Let me just put Fubuki on the other side here. Also, given that we're presuming in a pool, it's kind of how I have to do this, because if you sink this far into in a tube on land, you aren't getting out. Let's be real. You're living in there forever. Because her donut is like pretty big. I mean, basically what we have is this pose, but sunk in deeper, because it'll be in the water and not on land, where there's a finite bottom that you can reach. Oh, that's the wrong button. Also, the angle is more forward facing. That means that we can have the her back side along with the humble amount of chest going like this. We can literally hide everything else behind her legs and in a tube, so that we did have, let's see, how do we do this? We have, let's just say that her face is coming down like so. Let's say that we, I still don't want an angle for the face. I want a more down looking face. What? Oh dear. I think I want to tuck her chin in a bit more. Don't even bring her head in like that. best, we are seeing maybe like something like this in terms of the that also means that we didn't have her head coming through like that. Her visor well, her eyes would be like here. Hello there. How you doing? Currently trying to work through a sketch here. Welcome to people who just came in. We've got summer events and gacha games, so we're doing some summer event character fan art right now. We'll see if Blue Akai becomes less popular once the anime stops airing after this season, which it probably won't because it's still one of the more popular gacha games right now, but kind of want her to have her eye looking up from a downward head angle. So I want to have the eye more just like straight across like this. So I want the face to be more like this then. Oh, guess just chill to some lo-fi beats we have in the background. I just hope that my random mumblings won't be too much of a distraction. So I want to ensure that her head, which we do it like this, the visor will come over her head like this. And we'll actually have it covering her head rather than, because we'll see more of the top of it at this angle. Just kind of pull that in a little bit, because this will be what, like, I'm not making this curved enough, am I? It should be significantly more curved. Maybe more like what, like this. Say something like that. A lot of the guidelines I put in the back are not in the right spot anymore. It really helps, doesn't it? Sometimes we all need to reassure ourselves that what we're doing is correct. Yeah, I don't know about her perspective right now, but it does mean that we have a lovely foot in the front, which is gonna be like almost dead center in the canvas, which is well, it's summer for one half of the world, so we'll see how much people like that. Wait. Oh, it really isn't. It's dead center of the canvas. Ooh, wait. Now that I said that to myself, it's like, oh, yep, that is a foot right in the middle. We're judging our perspective with that 1 foot, so see how that goes, because normally with this kind of pose, I'll be judging it via the shoulders to the hip, but we want to have her in a tube, which is a giant donut that is very gigantic. It's almost taller than her vertically if it's stood on the side. So the whole bottom of the image ideally is going to be all donut. And while I can probably add a little bit of shading to it to try and determine exactly where the lighting is coming from, it's not going to really tell us much about the perspective. So if we want the face to go this way, just need to determine where exactly the visor coming out. Visor should actually be lower, shouldn't it? The visor itself should, well, the lip of it should be more like here, maybe. It should be shorter, shouldn't it? This is where it should sprout from her head, but the actual thing itself should be quite a bit shorter, because it's pointing. Actually, how at the camera should this actually be? Because we're looking down on her head. The face is what now going more like this. I think this is actually too high up. I think the visor should start from like here and stretch out to about here. So we're looking down on her head, then her head, the top of her head is now what, like here-ish. Yeah, that'll be about here-ish. So that means that this will go over the top here. This part will be almost flat based on our angle. Well, that's not right. The head slightly turns, so we should actually bring this out a bit more, shouldn't we? I don't know if she's trying to lean her body down more so that actually with this angle, wait a minute. No, with this angle, her upper body would actually be what, like down like this, wouldn't it? Her head will almost be level over her foot. Like that, because we're looking up at this because of we're looking at something what like this upwards. Hello there. Don't mind the very messy rough and sketch right now. Currently trying to work out exactly what I'm trying to do in a way as well. We're supposed to be human's body weight. It's if your hip is sunk between the middle of a inner tube, then most of your weight should be on the head, shouldn't it? So, how do inner tubes work? I've never floated in one of these. They pretty much stay level, right? I mean, technically for that purpose, I have some artistic freedom to lean the inner tube one way, don't I? Yeah, the best bit is that you're doing a sketch for yourself. The lines don't have to make sense to anyone else. Yeah, it should be, because like your head's your heaviest part, so it'll be your shoulders, your chest, your head would be most of the weight. Because if I'm having her rest her armpit here on the inner tube, we won't actually be able to see, because of the angle we're at. This is going to be inner tube, the front of it, and then the back of it's going to be what, like here, right? Even if we do a very liberal hook around of the whole thing. So unless I level the whole thing out a little bit more, then her head should almost only just be poking out over the top of the inner tube. Because also to take into account how large it is. Because we want to use her donut. I mean, her knees to her shoulder, well, maybe a little bit less than that, can fit cleanly in the middle of this inner tube because of how small she is. Well, along with how big the donut is. Okay, we're changing head angles. The only thing I'm trying to ensure is that her hair bun is not in not going to be in Kirino's face, who is standing, and Kirino's also quite a bit taller. So if we say that we pretend that the water is shallow, then that's not really a problem. Okay, let's instead pretend that the... Oh, I just chopped off the back of the foot. We pretend that the inner tube is almost level. So let's say the other side is like this. Given how wide it is, also means that her legs will be... Well, I can't really see from this angle, but it'll be what, like more... Like... I need to get rid of all this shit at the bottom here. You say that her legs coming down into a hip that goes almost level, so her shoulder needs to be like right here. Essentially, I'm gonna hide almost her whole body. Her shoulder will be sticking out over the top of it. This is going to be all armpit. This is going to be her... let's just say her body's almost like level like this. Doing a very awkward sketch of... say her chest is pointing up like this. Well, in the end, it's a character illustration, so I think it would be better if I keep her head up rather than have her head completely laid back on top of the whatchamacallit, the inner tube. So instead, the head would be like here. Say her chin is like right over the front here. So her chin would be what, against her chest to look up at this angle. So head is something like that. For the general face area, something like this. We want to have face like this. You just don't want to have her leaning all the way back. Whatever. Just go like that. Let's say she is leaned over like this. Just draw some bits of hair coming down. How's her hair go? Whoop. Something like this with visor. Actually, this angle, the visor will almost be pointing up, wouldn't it? The visor would start like here and then like almost point up, like so. Like so. Whoop. That is the scroll bar. That is too much brain. The head angle is not actually as sharp anymore, so this is 100% gonna be an uncomfortable position if you're gonna try and lift your head up like this, but we'll do for now. Is that too much head? No, because her visor doesn't cover her whole top side or front side of her head. Let's say this is bending over a hoge. Then we'll have bun number 1 like taking up this bit of real estate. It's what, like just like here. And then bun number 2 will be like outer frame like over here. I guess it really depends on how much upper body I want to work with here. I could do more of a no, I need to practice these from below kind of angles. Like, I've done top-down angles before. I really should practice this. I've started picking up how to do perspective for things you can very much draw within... Well, no, anything that with straight edges, I kind of understand how perspective works now. Drawing more malleable objects like human bodies into perspective is something that really I really need to practice. Especially since I'm kind of hiding part of the body, so I'm also removing part of what I'll be using to judge the body. Because like, hello there, like the butt would be like here, right? And that would be, she would be like what? The butt would be here, and that has to go into shoulder like here, like this, as we lean the body backwards. Because this is kind of what the torso part would be like. But I'm like eyeballing it. I should probably draw in the whole anatomy part, honestly, but actually, you know what, let's leave in the anatomy part. That might help in the future. But hello there. Currently finagling a sketch, and it's as part of practicing, it's really messing with my head right now. Somehow the center point of this whole illustration became a single foot. So see how that's going for me. Okay, let me just grab this whole thing. I don't want to change the dimensions of the canvas. Let me just see if I don't know if I mean, I could put Kirino more into the water. That's actually not a problem. Okay, let me just... I'm gonna sketch in Kirino as well before I do anything. You know what? Let's actually put a standing figure in the back that is more easy to judge. That might help. So based on this perspective, what we actually want from Kirino is... let's see, what do we want to do with this? Let's make you green. We instead want her... We're looking up at her body, so if she's standing largely straight or even... Actually, let's say she's leaning over a little bit. Let's increase the difficulty for absolutely zero reason while I'm struggling already. We kind of want her head to instead be like this. Actually, do we want her to be looking down? No, I want her to look like she's blowing the whistle. We almost want her face level with the perspective, let's say. Or maybe even a little bit up. So that... when... she's leaning over, we want to have her shoulders a little bit over the top so that her shoulder area will be what, like here. Do we want to lean it over that much? Okay, let's say if she's looking more downward. The shoulder width isn't that wide. So let's say that her body itself is going, what, like this? Oh my. Cheers, a subscription there. That was a lot louder than I was expecting. I should really turn that down a little bit. That was actually quite loud in my ear. So she's leaning. Oh, how much do we want to turn her body? Because we want the. I mean, she's not that big, so I want to have her body leaning over. Actually, almost not be able to see her shoulder on this side, right? I kind of want the body itself to be like here. Because the shoulder would be like just sticking out of here. As the neck goes like, what, the neck is like here going back like this. I mean, the back of the head would be like here. I mean, ear would be about here. Say her. I set something like there. The top of the head will be like this, and then like this over the side. That means her hair will be something like 1, 2, 3. How would this part go? This is like the side of her head. How far back is that from her ear? Say this is like behind her ear. Let's say like her hair is going something like this. Just gotta really just messily plop that in. Something just as a basis that we can look at it and then decide if it looks hideous or not. That means her... We want to bring her braids over her shoulder, that's the next question. Because that would end up taking up this part of the real estate. Actually, how would her collar work here? Because her collar would go like that. Because we have her leaning over quite aggressively here. And then her braid comes over the top of that. And then it'll go like here. It's actually, how long is it? It goes down to her hip. Down to her thighs. I still haven't really identified what exactly that is. Actually, hold on. Let me have a look at her wiki page. Do they have a description of her appearance? They usually do, right? Let's see. Blue Archive. Kirino. Nakatika Kirino swimsuit version overview. Is there appearance? Uniform? No, they don't mention her thing. Her float thingy majig that she's carrying. I mean, she's being a lifesaver, so I'm presuming it's some kind of equipment. What would trivia? Is anything mentioned there? Nope. We're leading her body over aggressively, then the chest would be like coming through like here. Her vest will be coming over the top and hanging off her body. But this is what life vests are pretty bulky, right? Or like the flirty parts. So this will actually not stick to her body, it will just hang down from here. Over at the top of her from front of her chest. It's like a little bit bulky, and we've got the these like extra pocket things sticking out of them here, like so. Actually, should these be angled up from camera? So it's like this instead. Maybe a little bit, maybe just a little bit. But the vest will be coming over braids here. Her collar comes around like her neck here. That means that this part of the vest just hangs over her right here. This has to go all the way around her waist, but this will be blocked by her braid. Actually, wait. No, if we have this buckled, then it does kind of have to stick to her a little bit, or it won't hang off her breasts quite as aggressively. I mean, she's not that big to begin with, but it won't hang off her body that aggressively. We'll have to kind of be angled towards her body. Okay, that means, special that, that this actually needs to, we have body like here. Oh, whoa, don't do that. So chest, and then this goes over her neck, and then this has to be angled towards her body. How far does it go down? Just past the chest line? Or down to above her stomach line? It's also, is it how much artistic freedom you decide to throw in. Let's bring this out a bit more. Let's have the pockets of this. Actually, let's have this thing kind of fold up, because this thing is hard material, right? These kind of life jacket things. So then this would be sticking out of this completely. Actually, and then they have to be angled this way because of the fact that it has to somewhat stick to her body. Her braid actually gets a lot thinner quite quickly. And her back will be coming down like here. Wait a minute, I need to hold on. Do I still have the wiki open? I do. Gallery. Is there a 3D model of her in here? I just need to look at. I don't want the sprite, I want the 3D. Just a 3D model. I just want a back shot of her. Because I want to see if this is a vest or one of those ones that you just keep around your neck. Because just looking at it, it looks more like it's buckled around her waist and then hooked around her neck. And that's the only thing that's holding it together. Alright, well, I am turning on the game. Hopefully it doesn't annihilate the stream because BlueStacks has done that a couple of times. Unfortunately, I don't have her in-game live 2D yet. I haven't logged in today, so maybe I can pull it out right now. Ideally, what I need is for her to be in the cafe, because that gives me a look at her 3D model. And then we can determine if this is a vest or not. Because with the angle that I've got her body at, there is going to be some leeway in seeing the around part of, like the side part of her waist past her braid. So I just want to see what's happening there because I can't find anything else that looks like details of anything else. The more unfortunate bit is that the wiki currently doesn't have her live 2D on it, so I don't know what that looks like. Is it up here or is it? No, it's not. Hasn't been posted yet. The convenient part is that she's the event character, so everyone has to have her. I spent nearly all of my gems pulling Fubuki. I didn't have anything left to try and pull Kana. Alright game, please turn on. Man, it's always like 50-50 with the blue archive will even turn on. Okay, it's turning on. Let me have a look inside the cafe. Alright, skip that, and then we want to go to cafe. And there is the, was it, invite function you can use to pull students into the, oh, she's not in the cafe. Into the cafe, but I don't know how to use it because I've never actually bothered using it. Wasn't there like a secondary room as well? What's in the second? Oh, there's only 4 people in here. She's not here. The swimsuit Connor's in here. Can I invite Aikakoshi Seneha? Wait, no, she's Ki. Natochi Seshi Sako Ki. Ki Kirino swimsuit. What does that do? Oh, it actually puts her in here. Okay, I need you to turn around now. Just for reference, so everyone can see what I'm doing, we're now proceeding to sit here to see if she'll turn around so we can have a good look at her life vest thingy. As far as I know, there's no good way to make her turn around. So we're gonna stay here and we're gonna wait. Is that a buckle going around the back? Is that coming down from the collar? That should be coming down from the collar there, from the vis. Okay. That works. So the actual vis itself does not go around. You can kind of see actually right here that it's going around her body with the buckle. So we'll keep that in mind. Well, wasn't that a getaway to go and look for that information? Okay, so her back will be coming through here. This will go into her hip, like so, where we'll have her we want to give her more butt. Say her butt's going out like that. And then her legs would be coming down like that. I actually want to kind of just shift her down. Kind of compress the whole image a little bit to I mean, we have her kind of leaning over Fubuki's in a tube, then she'll kind of what, like here in terms of perspective. Was that enough to get the live 3D of her? Well, let me just have that run on the side there. Okay, but regardless, that's kind of about where she probably needs to sit. So, if we didn't have a whistle, like so, coming off her mouth, which is about here, that means we need to wireframe in her hand, which is it thumb on top? Because we want to kind of just hold it the same way she's holding the whistle here, which is thumb, forefinger, and then this like this. And then this has to stretch into the back as the shoulder's coming down like right here. And then her hand will be coming forward like right here. That looks weird right now. I'm not doing that very well. Okay, so we don't have her in-game activity. Regardless, I want to probably give her a little bit more hint here. So her hints are coming back like here-ish. That means that we want to have her take the majority of the top left corner of the canvas. Do this, and then we can actually try and shift. I think I need to angle Fubuki's leg to be more just straightforward. I think what I'm gonna do is actually move this whole leg here so that it is pointed more towards the camera and resting in a way so that the knee ends up like here, and the thigh is coming down like this, while the calf is coming down like this, the thigh is coming through like this, and then the foot is completely blocking, or for the most part completely blocking the calf. Like so. So something vaguely in that shape. I'm gonna actually see if I can just very quickly dig out Kirino inside the schedule as well. Oh, there's Fubuki. I already have her once. Kirino. She's wearing goggles. She shouldn't be that hard to spot. That's Fubuki again. Oh my. That's Fubuki again. Here's regular Kirino. Do you really know it swims to Kirino in the schedule at all? Wow. It's like, wow. It was like Fubuki like 4 times, and then this regular Kirino twice. Alright, whatever. Let's close the game. I can deal with that later. Actually, if I want to angle her foot here, I guess it's mostly a matter of how spread I want her legs to be. Since COVID, so that would have been 4 years now, I think. I started drawing more about a year and after that, so maybe 3 years as more the main thing I did for content creation. At first I was doing primarily just live 2D things, and there was a phase where I was still doing a lot of other things in terms of content. I only recently switched entirely to focus on the art side, and that primarily became just drawing probably about a few months ago. In total, probably 4-ish years. In terms of seriously trying to get better at drawing, probably about 3.5 years maybe. How much foot should be here? I want to rest her leg over the top here. Then let's say that the inner tube is coming through across the top here. We have calf coming like knee over the top. calf coming down. Let's just say almost at the camera. That puts foot. Like here. More foot. I mean, your foot is already almost as long as your face, so foot would be like over to here. Oh yeah. No, it's one of those things that's like what? It's a it's like a craft, so you just keep doing it and eventually you'll get better at it. I mean, I still try to do a combination of a bunch of stuff, and I've been trying to change up a lot of how I do things recently. Notably, I've been trying quite hard to reduce the amounts of rough portions of the drawings I do to try and streamline the whole process overall. I think I really need to just put a big old foot up here. I mean, honestly, I was probably more focused on doing live 2D things early on, because that was, like, right when the pandemic started was when the great Western indie VTuber boom happened. So that was a good time to get into a lot of live 2D stuff, even though honestly that stuff didn't really develop for another like 2 years or so in terms of like all the crazy stuff you see nowadays. Man, VTuber models back in the days were they were not good. Like looking back on them, like even the higher end ones compared to like nowadays, like the higher end stuff now is like absolutely wild. The higher end stuff back then was not so wild. It was like some of the movement was like a little bit smoother, but the demand for all of the really fancy stuff wasn't really there. Which makes sense, because the market wasn't that saturated, so you didn't have to do all this extra stuff to try and force yourself to stand out. I'm gonna have to push the front muscle of the foot forward here, I think. Let me just turn the display back off. I do have, because I practiced it quite a while back when it was I was having a good old moment of I need to practice not safe for work things. I have practiced a foot that points very much forward because it is a foot job picture. I think Hololive was 2 years old, maybe. at the time. Maybe just coming on 2 years old. I mean, when VTubers first started, it was all 3D. I mean, Live 2D as a technology was already in use because it was used as an animation tool rather than a tool for creating these kind of real-time tracked models. I think Kizuna Eye was what? 2-3 years before the pandemic? Because that was the initial start. I think about a year or two after that was I think I talk about like about half a year or a year before other people start popping up. It's all like pretty vague memories because it's like nearly what, 8 years ago now, I think. It was definitely like over a year before the pandemic started. When did I actually follow Hololive? I'm just trying to think. Because that was definitely the first agency that I became aware of. Because I was following Sora before she joined Hololive, so I have like a vague timeline of when everything happened. But I will be perfectly honest, I do have like a little bit of bias towards the early days. You stick around and listen to me mumble about VTuber culture, I'll sound like some kind of boomer because I really don't have a particularly good impression about the current culture. What was the first thing that really got to the West? I mean, I know, was it, Yanners was, already active quite early. What is something like... I remember seeing her VODs recommended to me a few times on YouTube, even back in the day, but I can't actually remember when I started seeing those. It was definitely after the initial boom started in Japan. Well, I know that at the very least, when I became aware of Hololive, I think there were already 3 generations in, I think. Not like I'm particularly aware of who's in which gen, to be honest, because I don't really keep up with that. Let's get this line out of here. I'm pretty sure the first time I actually was aware of them as a company was and I got recommended Hachama, because that was the period where she was in Australia doing her very broken English streams. I mean, she still does it now, which is always neat. I presume she was actually like the first kind of English contact for most people. I don't think I was actually aware Sora had joined Hololive till like quite a bit after that. Like, oh yeah, like I remember you being independent. Like, when did you join company? I wonder if her face be a little flatter. I mean, honestly, doing live 2D things in games is a little bit of a sore spot anyway nowadays, because the most supported platform for live 2D animations is Unity. I mean, for the most part, Unity's largely dug their way out of the scandal, but still not great. Let's see. Alright, so have this curl around her body right there. So basically, somehow the EA CEO who got kicked from EA for being too greedy for EA somehow made it to the CEO of Unity, and he wanted to charge people for or charge the developers of games for each installation of the Unity game player instance, which if you're not familiar with Unity as a game engine, every instance of someone trying to play your game will create a Unity game player instance. For the most part, they walked it back, and for the most part, it will only affect big companies because they put a pretty big limit to it. I think it was something like a couple million instances before they'll start charging you. I mean, it's still in place, last I checked, but it wasn't as ridiculous. Because I think originally he wanted to charge people literally the moment your game was being played by anyone, which basically means that indies, especially if you're looking to make a free mobile game and you just want to like have some fun making a game and putting it on the App Store, if it got downloaded at all, you'll be losing money. So you know, people got real mad. I mean, I've also been an indie developer at one point in my life, so even with our shitty games, we managed to have a couple of downloads on itch.io. So if that policy was already in place at that time, we would have lost money. Means what happens as everything that seems to have some business value gets sucked up by the business people, and they don't actually understand the industry at all and just try to squeeze money out of every little part that they possibly can. The angle of the visor is like a little bit weird here. So I have it pointing up now. I mean, I've been meaning to get back into doing some game development, but I'm also unfortunately a Unity baby when I learned how to do game development, so it's good that they rolled back the general policy now so that it won't really affect you unless you actually blow up or you're just a big company. So it's feasible at the very least to try it again. Hello there. Working on roughing out the sketch into something that is workable right now. I feel like I need to slant her head a bit more. Yeah, like go more like this. Singing is there's been an increase in companies specifically aiming to support indie developers. It's probably a pretty good time to get back into doing some game dev. How big is this? I need to get more head here and then go like this. You know, when I looked at the options again, I actually haven't looked into the Among Us Studios indie incentive. I've seen Ludwig's one, And the other one that I need to look at is the Cover Corpse one. Even though I think they only cover if you're doing a parody fan projects for the IP, which basically means it has to be some Hololive themed game, because God knows if they'll even endorse a Hollow Stars thing. Sometimes I'm amazed that people still remember that Hollow Stars exists, with how difficult... Is it still really difficult to find Hollow Stars? I remember when their first generation of English talent was debuted, it took like a separate Google search away from their home page to bring up the Hollow Stars page. Like, you couldn't reach it from... I don't know, what was it? You couldn't reach their official Hollow Stars Twitter from Cover's main page. They had all of their socials there apart from the Hollow Stars one that had the account that announced that they were debuting the English Hollow Stars, which I thought was a giant joke because it really felt like, at least at the time, that they were completely extra and disposable sideshow. Like, it didn't really feel like there was much investment there. It was like, it didn't matter if they flopped or not. They barely existed. Yeah, we'll be like, what, like over the top here. Yeah, it's like they don't really try to market it, right? Actually, let's do the experimentation now. Let's see how long it takes for me to find a Twitter. So we go to Cover Corp. We'll click on Cover Corp. That is not the one I'm looking for. Company cover. Okay, then we're on the English page. Let's just bring this over here. Actually, I don't know anything. Okay, so we've got the Cover Corp page up here. Okay, company, business. How do I get to the talents? View. This is like their actual company stuff. How do I go from here to their talent stuff? Do I go to business? Okay, so VTuber production is their top thing, so I can one click from their homepage into their business thing, so that gets me to VTuber production. With a global presence, Hololive production. That's all they say. They don't even... Okay, so they do have Hollow Stars listed here as part of operating groups. Okay, so Hololive production official website. Let's click on that. So that's 3 clicks. Okay, let's try clicking on... Wait, do they have... Introduce our challenges, deliver excitement, blah blah blah, Hololive. Okay, so Hollow Stars is now listed on their Hololive Pros front page. So let's try clicking on one of them here, view more. So that's all of their talent. Can I get to their socials though? Because that is what I wanted to see. Because I remember about 2 to 3 years ago when I tried to do this and find their Twitter. The Twitter that linked from the Hollow Stars stuff on their site was not the Twitter account that said that they were debuting English talent. That was a separate Twitter account. And it was a giant joke because it took me a really long time to find it, even though I was actively trying to find it at the time, just like make a point out of it. Is this their actual Twitter account? Man, they do not get much interactions. Like... And this is what, entirely just the Japanese account? It's like they've got their dedicated fan base and then they essentially don't exist to anyone else. Actually, back at the... Here would be down like here. Here will be not quite angled like this. Well, at least every time I see stuff from them that vaguely mentions the fact that they have a male talent brown, just like, wow, you haven't cut them yet. Like, are they actually profitable? I guess that's a benefit of a talent agency for like essentially content creation. If you're not constantly holding like big concerts and stuff, there's no overhead. You can let them do their own thing while paying their wages and not really doing anything else. Got the body coming down like that over the top of the inner tube. Then we'll have let's see, other than sketching goggles will be what, here, sticking out a little bit like so, and like so, and bridge across, and then this will always be facing the camera, so let's say it's like this, and then this goes below her here. Actually, this should probably not turn out this far. Okay, so I actually need to draw her hand first. Her hand will be right at the front with the whistle. Oh jeez. Chairs aren't supposed to make noises like that. Oh boy. We want the whistle to come out of her mouth, which would be like right here. We can essentially not draw the mouth because the whistle will be completely covering it. So it'll be something along the lines of here. This is the top of the whistle coming from her mouth. We want finger. Hello there. curving over top of this. How aggressively do you want to curve over the top of this? I want to go like this, right? And let me just see if I can very quickly finagle this. Into place. Hold up. I just need to delete the font. Currently have some things changed up since last time. In terms of camera angle, we're now looking at the whole thing up from this way. So the inner tube is now like this whole part here. There's still a whole bunch of lines in here, but if I remove the original sketch from the back, it doesn't look quite as ridiculous in terms of where everything is. Hiding majority of Fubuki's body behind the inner tube. So there's a very bad sketch of a foot here right now, but in terms of perspective, we want foot, hide most of the leg behind it, maybe have a bit of thigh or knee behind here. Have her upper body sunk into the inner tube, so tube comes through the front, see like her shoulder area leading over the top of the backside, or the second half of the inner tube. And then the idea is to have Kirino leading over the top. It's still a giant mess, but it's still a sketch, so I'm not too worried about that at the current stage. Turns of how everything needs to look though. Oh good. Let's see, we'll go the hand through here. Well, that's just a how your workflow goes, right? Just wearing this watch or wrist thing. What is this? I've got this turned a little bit more so her arm. Is like that. Very much a skill, isn't it? I still didn't work out how to use the tools for was it Eva's Paint. I've tried drawing on my phone a little bit. I can't really figure it out. It doesn't feel particularly good. You know, my phone is also like quite small because it's also quite old. Probably not the general screen size that any of the people who made those art programs expect the screen to be. This thing shouldn't bend, should it? This thing should be very solid, right? This should be much more solid than what I'm doing here. I mean, a lot of that, isn't it, mostly just you have to have the settings set up in the specific way you need it. And you can't copy anyone else's settings because it has to be custom fit for how you work. I mean, it's kind of similar to, was it the joke about how people copy the mouse settings of FPS pros and then question why it doesn't feel good. So arm would be coming. We want to have arm pointing away from camera. Have arm coming through back into elbow here. Actually, should arm be more from this angle than what here? Very much, right? But I do have stabilization I can set up here, but I just have it set to default. I kind of gotten used to what I'm working with, so I don't mess with it. You know, the notes of getting a fight stick. I've had considered getting a fight stick for fighting games, but then I don't play games often enough to really warrant it. You know, that's mostly because I play on a 360 controller and trying to use the D-pad on that thing is a nightmare. I think I have a bit of luck trying to play on keyboard or something. Like, D-pad on the 360 controller is just like, yeah, I think you did a half circle maybe. Man, I haven't really taken care of like any of my peripherals, honestly. I haven't had a mouse with a functioning mouse wheel for like 2 years now, I think, and I've just kind of lived with it. I've reached a point where I'm so accustomed to it that I don't really need it. I mean, it's kind of frightening how adaptable humans can be based on pure laziness. I mean, it's like I bought this mouse, and after about like a year, my mouse wheel stopped working and I've just left it. I know, right? All that skill issue. I'll be real, I don't really play any games that require good reaction times and actual mechanical skill. I play mostly games where the majority of the gameplay is just inputting commands into a menu. I mean, I definitely can't speedrun it because speedrunning requires you to be able to very effectively manage the menu, but at least I can play games which is mostly just menuing. I mean, the most competitive game I play these days is Yu-Gi-Oh! So if I have a skill issue there, it's because I lack the ability to read. But then every single player on that game lacks the ability to read, so yes. Some JRPGs always nice. I mean, majority of gacha games tend to be like 90% menuing, especially if you can like have it just auto fight everything. I mean, as my mom likes to put it, even like what, when Gen 3 of Pokemon came out, like I was playing Pokemon as a kid and I was playing Pokemon after I grew up, and then nowadays I'm still playing Pokemon. She really likes to comment about it every now and then. Like, it's still Pokemon. I mean, the other big series game I played recently is what, Fire Emblem. So that's like what, a turn-based strategy game. Well, in terms of big games anyway. How do I want to curve this part over here? And this bit really sticks out, but I think what I want to do is kind of curve this back into her head before it gets all the way around to the back side of her head. So I want both of these to kind of curve into her braid. I have considered playing Octopath Traveler, but I don't know if I'll enjoy it enough to warrant the price. Because Octopath Traveler is AAA price, which is always like a little iffy, especially when you consider how dodgy anything at AAA price has been in the recent years. I mean, Octopath Traveler, the first one, was a little bit before that. Really came into full effect, but I mean, it's like over here it was what, $90 or something ridiculous. It was just like, I don't really know if I want to pay like nearly $100 for a game. I don't know if I'll enjoy it or not. If I'm going to pay that much for a game, it's usually something that I know I'm going to enjoy. Even though, let's be real, the most recent Pokemon was a giant miss. Holy shit, that thing was an incredible piece of crap when it came to performance. Do I want her hair to curve down here? I want her hair to curve right near her. Curve into her face here. Oh yeah. That just reminds me of one of my mates always talked about Game Pass. But then at the time he essentially worked for Microsoft, so he had free Game Pass. Well, he worked for Microsoft in a sense. He was just a salesperson, but he got free Game Pass with that job, so. Because I think the first time really mentioned it in my friend group was when Sea of Thieves first came out. Because I think when Sea of Thieves first came out, it was pretty pricey as well. And honestly, you weren't playing on Game Pass at the time. It wasn't really worth it. Because was it when Sea of Thieves first came out, it was, wow, that's a really nice water. It's like, where's the pirates? Who remembers that phase of pirate games? Like, the most exciting thing about your game was the water, and not really anything else. Yeah, Power World. I think Power World had a lot of, like, even without Scarlet and Violet tanking, Power World still had a lot of what people wanted from Pokemon, right? It was a multiplayer game that was largely open world. I mean, people were happy that, was it Legends Arceus was more of this open world model. It wasn't really open world, but like it was closer to open world. But it still wasn't multiplayer. Like, the one thing people have been asking of Pokemon for all of these years has been multiplayer. Like, you want to go into this world of all of these wonderful monsters with your friends, not hopefully run to someone with a link cable. Does that age me? Does talking about the link cable age me really badly? I don't think I ever ran to anyone who owned a link cable. You know, unfortunately, none of my friends were playing Power World when the craze happened, so never got into it. It probably would be a game I enjoy, but I'm also, in terms of those kind of games, I'm 100% the person who will sit in the base and keep building it. You know what? Power World's developers said that they wanted the game to be more Minecraft than Pokemon, wasn't it? What did they actually say it was supposed to be? Because they said that it wasn't supposed to be Pokemon. It was supposed to be a sandbox survival. I mean, I don't know if they were saying that just so that people will stop saying that was a Pokemon clone, but what am I doing here? braid is coming down here. Bring that in behind Fubuki's bun here. The braid can hang, the life jacket cannot. Well, let's just say that this comes down, down, down. Let's just go. This goes pretty thin, right? Okay, well, regardless, I'm pretty much done for time for the day because I need to shut up and let people sleep. It actually sounds about right. It's almost like indie developers want to make fun things and it doesn't have to be a commercial success. If it's a commercial success, that's a bonus. Okay, so in terms of the rough, something is this. I think I'm gonna have to I'm probably gonna end up cropping the bottom part so that there's just less in a tube, so more of the image is just going to be their bodies. I could try playing with perspective and angles so that essentially it'll bring Kirino's head closer to closer down towards Fubuki. Don't know how I feel about that. I think I kind of want to keep the angle right now. It really just depends if I want to lift Fubuki up a little bit so there's more of an upper body in frame. But the angle I'm working at, I don't think I want to do that. Alright, but anyways, thank you very much for watching today's session of sketching and trying to finagle in a rough. The whole, well, the position of Fubuki changed when I started, or from what I started from, so I'll see if that keeps going forward or not. Some things might still keep changing. I'm just like staring at a sign if there's anything that seems really weird or off. Even with how messy my sketch lines are. I'll worry about it next time I go live. Alright, so anyways, thank you very much for watching today's stream. If you want to see more of this live, remember to be subscribed or following, depending on where you're watching from. Leave a like, cause that's me out, and I'll see you all next time.